Hello everybody, this is Crafty, and welcome to part 2 of the Lycanites Mobs mod showcase. The topics of this showcase include all of the beast, brute, and worm type mobs within this mod. Some quick information before we start is that I'm trying to improve the quality of the edits throughout the video, so you will notice some slight differences in the way things are structured, or some new things popping up at random points within the video. The second thing is that the worms in the mod appear to be largely a work in progress, seeing as none of them will spawn naturally, and there is very limited information about them. Without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. This is the Kobold. The Kobold has a health of 10, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 1. The Kobold can drop rabbit meat, rabbit hide, coal, iron ingots, gold nuggets, and emeralds, as well as any stolen items upon death. The Kobolds have a unique behavior in that they will steal any items found upon the ground, including items dropped by the player. However, as previously mentioned, when killed, they will drop any items that they had stolen. In combat, the Kobolds will not attack the player unless the player is below 50% HP. Once the player is beneath 50% HP, then they will proceed to attack the player. Kobolds will naturally spawn in plains biomes at night. The Kobold has two variants, the Aspen Kobold and the Verdant Kobold. This is the Gekkan. The Gekkan has a health of 20, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Gekkan can drop 1 to 3 bones upon death. In combat, the Gekkan will rapidly jump and attack the player, inflicting the player with the bleeding effect. The Gekkans can spawn in tropical biomes such as jungles or swamps. The Gekkan has two variants, the Scarlet Gekkan and the Keppel Gekkan. This is the Jabberwock. A Jabberwock has a health of 15, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 4. When killed, the Jabberwock can drop 1 to 2 leather and 1 to 2 bones. In combat, the Jabberwock will attack the player, inflicting the weight effect. Jabberwocks can spawn above or below ground in mountain biomes. The Jabberwock has three variants, the Dark Jabberwock, the Russet Jabberwock, and a unique special variant, which is called the Rudolph Jabberwock, which only spawns during the event titled Rudolph the Bloodstained Jabberwock, as shown in this image, to be a bright red Jabberwock that can only spawn during this event, which only occurs during the December months. This is the Epion. The Epion has a health of 15, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Epion can drop 1 to 5 leather, 1 to 4 gunpowder, 1 to 3 blood leech charges, and 1 to 2 phantom membranes. The Epion can be tamed by using beast treats, and eventually, once it is, you will be able to right click on it and put on armor, a chest, and a saddle. Once tamed, the Epion will be able to be mounted by adding a saddle to it and then right clicking. You will click the C key to get off, and the X key to use the mount ability, which is to fire blood leech charges at other mobs so long as the little bar is full. Epions can spawn in dark oak forest biomes at night, or anywhere during a full moon. The Epion has four variants, the Azure Epion, the Russet Epion, the Scarlet Epion, which functions as a mini-boss, and the Vampire Epion, as shown on the Lycanites Mobs website, which only can spawn during the Trick or Treat event, which can only occur during Halloween or October. This is the Macha. The Macha has a health of 20, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Macha can drop 1 to 2 Macha meat and 1 to 2 leather. Machas are peaceful mobs and will actually try to run away once they are attacked. However, they can be farmed and bred by being lured using a potato or any other type of vegetable such as wheat or carrots. The Macha can spawn in plains biomes or savanna biomes. The Macha has two variants, the Golden Macha and the Verdant Macha. This is the Alpha Macha. The Alpha Macha has a health of 30, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 4. Just like the regular Macha, the Alpha Macha can drop 1 to 2 Macha meat and 1 to 2 leather. The Alpha Macha will remain peaceful until either it or another Macha nearby is aggravated. Once that happens, it will begin attacking the player, dealing the weakness effect. Alpha Machas, like the Macha, will spawn in plains biomes or savanna biomes, typically in groups with regular Macha. The Alpha Macha has the same variant types as the regular Macha, which are golden and verdant. This is the Yale. The Yale has a health of 10, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Yale can drop 1 piece of wool and 1 to 3 pieces of Yale meat. The Yale is a passive mob, and when attacked will run away from the player. The Yale can also be lured and bred using any type of vegetable such as potatoes, wheat, or carrots, and can even be dyed and sheared just like sheep. The Yale spawns in any mountainous biome. The Yale has 2 subspecies, the Lux Yale and the Golden Yale. This is the Yeti. The Yeti has a health of 20, a defense of 2, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Yeti can drop 1 to 3 snowballs, 1 to 3 packed ice, 2 to 5 Yeti meat, and 1 to 2 frosty fur. The Yeti is a passive mob, and when hit, will attempt to run away from the player. As the Yeti moves, it will leave frost clouds behind with it, which will afflict the player with the hunger and slowness effects. The Yeti can be lured and bred using potatoes, wheat, or any other type of vegetable, and can be milked using a bucket. The Yeti can spawn in any cold biome, such as the taiga. The Yeti has 2 variants, the Russet Yeti and the Violet Yeti. This is the Aurosor. The Aurosor has a health of 40, a defense of 1, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Aurosor can drop 1 to 3 Aurosor meat. The Aurosor is a passive mob and will attempt to run away from the player after being hit. However, while they are not actively fleeing from the player, they can be lured by using potatoes or wheat or any other type of vegetable. Aurosors can spawn in forest and plains biomes. The Aurosor has 2 variants, the Russet Aurosor and the Keppel Aurosor. This is the Chupacabra. The Chupacabra has a health of 15, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Chupacabra can drop 1 to 3 leather and 1 to 3 Chupacabra meat. In combat, the Chupacabra will rapidly charge the player, dealing damage very quickly. The Chupacabras can additionally be tamed using beast treats. Chupacabras can also be bred by using live pigs and sheep, as well as cows, as food. Chupacabra can spawn underground in dark caves. The Chupacabra has 3 variants, the Violet Chupacabra, the Verdant Chupacabra, and the Phosphorescent Chupacabra, which functions as a mini-boss. This is the Kanba. The Kanba has a health of 10, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Kanba can drop 1 to 5 cocoa beans and 1 to 3 poop charges. In combat, the Kanba will fire poop charges at the player, afflicting them with the poison, plague, and aphasia effect, and then they leave poison clouds that afflict the slowness and nausea effect. Kanba spawn in tropical biomes such as jungles. The Kanba has 2 variants, the Violet Kanba and the Dark Kanba. This is the Kalk. The Kalk has a health of 40, a defense of 5, and a melee attack damage of 4. The Kalk can drop 16 to 32 coal, 3 to 5 magma cream, and 3 to 6 blaze powder. In combat, the Kalk will fire fireballs towards the player and attack the player with a melee attack, administering the smoldering effect. The Kalk can spawn in massive pools of lava, such as those that are in the Nether. The Kalk has 2 variants, the Azure Kalk and the Violet Kalk. This is the Aspen. The Aspen has a health of 10, a defense of 2, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Aspen can drop 1 to 3 slime balls, 1 to 3 Aspen meat, and 1 to 2 poison glands. The Aspens are peaceful mobs and will not attack the player in survival mode. However, they still leave a poison cloud wherever they walk. The Aspens can be farmed by using any type of mushroom. Aspen can spawn in any biomes containing large amounts of mushrooms, such as swamps, dark oak forests, and mushroom islands. The Aspen has 2 variants, the Dark Aspen and the Violet Aspen. Hello everybody, you're around halfway through the video, so I decided it would be a good time to tell you guys some information about the channel and the upcoming weeks. I plan to be live streaming June 23rd at around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there are any changes to that plan, you should follow me on Instagram so you are made aware of those changes. My Instagram will be on the screen right now and in the description. Second thing is, I am aware that over 90% of the viewers on the channel are not subscribed. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you could subscribe, it's free, and it would be a great help to the channel. Anyway, make sure you have some water, and let's get straight back to the video. This is the Warg. The Warg has a health of 20, a defense of 1, and a melee attack damage of 3. The Warg can drop 1 to 3 leather, 1 to 2 bones, and 1 Warg skull. In combat, the Warg will attack the player, inflicting both the bleed and paralysis effects. The Warg can be tamed by using beast treats, and healed by using any type of cooked meat. The Warg can be ridden by using a saddle, and when using the mount ability, it will leap forward, taking no fall damage, and paralyzing any enemies around it. Wargs can spawn in any type of forest biome. The Warg has two variants, the Aspen Warg and the Dark Warg. This is the Barguest. The Barguest has a health of 20, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 3. The Barguest can drop 1 to 3 leather and 1 to 2 bones. In combat, the Barguest will apply the weight effect to you when you get too close, and will attack the player by leaping towards you and inflicting the bleed effect. The Barguest can be tamed, however, by using beast treats. The Barguest can then be mounted by putting a saddle on it, and then right-clicking. While riding it, you can use the mount ability, which will result in you leaping really high into the air. The Barguest can spawn in mountainous regions and in savanna biomes. The Barguest has two variants, the Dark Barguest and the Scarlet Barguest. This is a Salamander. The Salamander has a health of 15, a defense of 1, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Salamander can drop 3 to 5 coal, 1 to 3 magma cream, and 1 to 2 blaze rods. In combat, the Salamander will attack the player and inflict a smoldering effect. The Salamander can be tamed by using beast treats, and once it is, you will then be able to equip a saddle on it and ride it. While riding it around, you have fire resistance, and it moves very, very quickly through lava. Salamanders can spawn in any patch of lava. The Salamander has two variants, the Violet Salamander and the Verdant Salamander. This is the Ferret. The Ferret has a health of 20, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 3. The Ferret can drop 1 to 3 leather and 1 to 3 bones. In combat, the Ferret will move towards the player and attack the player, inflicting the weakness debuff. The Ferret can be tamed by using beast treats, and once you do so, you will then be able to ride it. While riding the Ferret, you can use its mount ability to leap forwards and inflict the weakness effect amongst enemies around you. The Ferret can spawn in plains or savanna biomes. The Ferret has two variants, the Aspen Ferret and the Scarlet Ferret. This is the Manticore. The Manticore has a health of 10, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 3. The Manticore can drop 1 to 2 leather, 1 iron ore, and 1 to 2 bones. In combat, the Manticore will attack the player, inflicting both the weakness and the hunger effects. The Manticore can spawn in desert biomes at night. The Manticore has two variants, the Golden Manticore and the Scarlet Manticore. This is the Quill Beast. The Quill Beast has a health of 10, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 3. The Quill Beast can drop 1 to 3 leather and 1 to 3 quill charges. The Quill Beast is a passive mob until it is aggravated by the player or any other outside force. Then it will fire quill charges at the player, inflicting the player with the bleeding effect. The Quill Beast can also be tamed with beast treats, and will then act as a pet. Quill Beast can spawn in plains type biomes. The Quill Beast has two variants, the Dark Quill Beast and the Lux Quill Beast. This is a Dawan. The Darwin has a health of 15, a defense of 1, and a melee attack damage of 1. The Darwin can drop 1 to 3 quartz, 1 to 2 emeralds, and 1 to 2 diamonds if it is a subspecies. In combat, the Darwin will viciously attack the player, inflicting both the aphasia and slowness effects. The Darwin can be tamed by using beast treats and to be had as a pet. The Darwin spawn in any jungle biome. The Darwin has 2 variants, the Scarlet Darwin and the Azure Darwin. This is the Mog. The Mog has a health of 20, a defense of 1, and a melee attack damage of 3. The Mog can drop 1 to 3 leather, and 1 to 2 bones. In combat, the Mog will jump at the player, afflicting the slowness effect. The Mog can be tamed by using beast treats, and once it is, you can put a saddle on it and ride it around. In using its mount ability, it will jump forwards and afflict the slowness effect to every mob around it. The Mog can spawn in cold biomes such as the taiga and snowy mountains. The Mog has 2 variants, the Russet Mog and the Dark Mog. This is the Ramon. The Ramon has a health of 5, a defense of 0, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Ramon can drop 1 Ender Pearl, 1 to 3 Chorus Fruit, 1 Rabbit Meat, and 1 Chaos Orb Charge. In combat, the Ramon will jump at the player, inflicting them with the Chaos effect. The Ramon spawn deep underground, especially in the Lycanites Mobs dungeons. The Ramon has 2 variants, the Dark Ramon and the Lux Ramon. This is the Troll. The Troll has a health of 40, a defense of 2, and a melee attack damage of 4. The Trolls can drop 2 to 6 wood, 2 to 6 bones, 2 to 6 leather, 2 to 8 coal, and 2 to 6 boulder charges. In combat, the Troll will fire boulder blast charges at the player, as well as attack with a melee attack, which has a chance to disrupt any soft ground around them. The boulder blast charges administer both the weight and the weakness effects. In contrast to the regular appearance trolls have, being green, when exposed to direct sunlight, they will take on a stony appearance, such as this one right here. Trolls can spawn in mountain biomes. The troll has 2 variants, the Azure Troll and the Russet Troll, and their appearance changes slightly during the day. This is the Lobber. The Lobber has a health of 40, a defense of 3, and a melee attack damage of 2. The Lobber can drop 1 to 6 coal and blaze powder, 1 to 3 magma cream, and 2 to 5 magma charges. The Lobber will fire magma charges at the player, which will place temporary lava wherever it lands, and inflict the player with the smoldering effect upon contact. Lobbers can spawn in lava lakes in any biome. The Lobbers have 3 variants, the Azure Lobber, the Scarlet Lobber, and the Umber Lobber. This is the Etten. The Etten has a health of 30, a defense of 2, and a melee attack damage of 6. The Etten can drop 2 to 6 wood and leather, 1 to 2 red and brown mushrooms, and 2 to 8 coal. In combat, the Etten will attack the player with the clubs in its hands, inflicting the hunger effect. Etten can spawn in swamp biomes. The Etten has 2 variants, the Scarlet Etten and the Verdant Etten. This is the Wildkin. The Wildkin has a health of 30, a defense of 2, and a melee attack damage of 4. The Wildkin can drop 1 to 3 feathers, 1 to 2 bones, and potentially 4 to 8 lapis. However, through testing with all variants, this has proven false. In combat, the Wildkin will attack the player, inflicting them with the weight effect. The Wildkin can also be tamed by using brute treats. Wildkin can spawn in mountainous and snowy biomes. The Wildkin has 3 variants, the Lux Wildkin, the Violet Wildkin, and the Goodness Wildkin, which spawns in many winter-themed events and gifts. This is the Krusk. The Krusk has a health of 40, a defense of 3, and a melee attack damage of 4. The Krusk can drop 1 to 3 flint, 6 to 12 clay, 2 to 3 iron ore, and 1 to 2 gold ore. In combat, the Krusk will attack the player, afflicting them with the hunger effect. The Krusk, however, can be tamed by using worm treats, and will then act as a pet. The Krusk can spawn in desert biomes. The Krusk has two variants, the Golden Krusk and the Lux Krusk. This is a Serpix. The Serpix has a health of 40, a defense of 3, and a melee attack damage of 1. The Serpix can drop 2 to 3 iron ore, 3 to 6 blizzard charges, 6 to 12 snowballs, and 1 to 2 gold ore. In combat, the Serpix will fire blizzard charges at the player. However, you can only actually be hit if you get really close. Once you are hit, however, they will afflict you with the slowness effect. The Serpix can be tamed as a pet by using worm treats. The Serpix can spawn in cold and icy biomes. The Serpix has two variants, the Azure Serpix and the Verdant Serpix. This is the Gorger. The Gorger has a health of 20, a defense of 3, and a melee attack damage of 1. The Gorger can drop 8 to 24 coal, 3 to 6 blaze powder, 1 to 3 magma cream, 1 to 2 gold ore, 2 to 3 iron ore, and 5 to 7 magma charges. In combat, the Gorger will fire magma charges in all directions, spreading lava everywhere. If it successfully hits the player will be afflicted with the scorching effect. The Gorger can actually be tamed by using worm treats. Once it is, it will function as a pet. The Gorger spawns in any large body of lava. The Gorger has two variants, the Golden Gorger and the Keppel Gorger. And with that, you've reached the end of the video. Make sure to tune into my live stream next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I would like to thank everybody for watching all the way through. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you guys next time.